According to the Father, I am going to take your axe head and make it swim today. What you have misplaced will be brought back to you. I made a note of the loss that occurred when the circumstances conspired to take away from you what had been promised, and I have been working from that very moment forth to ensure that you are able to regain everything that has been taken away from you. What implications does this have for your life? Just as the prophet Elisha was able to bring the head of the axe that had been lost back to life by making it swim in the water, I am bringing back into reach dreams and expectations that had been gone. As the Father says, those hopes that appear to be so far away will eventually get closer. I have worked so hard in your situation to bring my faithfulness online for a miracle, and as a result, those desires that appear to the natural mind to be nothing more than utter fiction will become accessible. According to the Father, there are no aspirations that are left unfulfilled in my kingdom. Make adjustments to your ambitions and wishes so that they align with my way of thinking, and you will see a dramatic change taking place. The Father says, I am a way maker, and as I make a way for you, the yoke will become easy, and the weight will become light. This will become very clear. As I bring the immediate presence of my favor into your life, those things that you believed would crush you by their weight will become the dust of the balance. I will deliver it to you. What could possibly motivate me to act in such a manner? In light of the fact that I am the God of yes and amen, take comfort in this. Please be aware that you can put your faith and reliance in my faithfulness on this day. The cost has been borne. All of the preparations have been completed. The transformation that you have been pleading for takes place right now. This day, the Father instructs us to refrain from rationalizing away our blessings. Even if the situation may appear to be hopeless, it is important to keep in mind that there are processes active that are not visible to the naked eye. As much as you could believe that you are encircled by the adversary on every side, you should open your eyes. Your eyes should be opened while you do so. Instruct your eyes to open, and let them to see the multitude of angels that are surrounding you, along with the chariots that they are riding. The adversary and the circumstance, which appear to be so formidable, are going to be subdued by my command. In the same way that Jesus could summon 10,000 angels to save him, I have called a legion to guard, defend, and preserve every step you take throughout your life. For the purpose of granting you the right to call upon angelic assistance, I chose not to call upon heavenly assistance. The things that I withheld from myself on the cross are now available to you as a result of redemption. Every single thing in your life that prevents you from receiving my promise is addressed in the blood that was shed on the cross. You do not have to work hard to earn my favor. It is not necessary to completely submerge yourself in religious thought or religious theological semantics. It is not necessary for you to persuade me to take action on your behalf. There is no requirement for you to overcome any resistance on my end in order for me to move inside of your life. Yes is the answer that I respond to the call of your heart by default. No more exerting effort. Never again will you feel helpless or frustrated. Make the transition from hopelessness to jubilation. Take part in the celebration of my kingdom, for today is the day of salvation that you have been praying for such a long time. In today's message, the Father declares that my government is expanding throughout the planet. Even though the entire world is in complete darkness, the nations of the planet are aware of this fact. The sky is not collapsing. The kingdom is on its way. In spite of the fact that 1,000 may fall at your side and 10,000 may fall at your right hand, the disasters that the earth is experiencing will not reach close to you. During times of turmoil and storm, I am your stronghold and your safety. I am your high tower. You should be aware that you are currently protected by my pavilion, and that nothing will ever be able to cause you harm. In the same way that the angels of heaven were assigned to me in order to prevent me from slamming my foot against a stone, the angels of heaven are assigned to you. In the absence of light, you will not grope. You won't be in a position where you don't have replies to those who confront you. At the same moment that you are commanded to give an account of yourself, I will impart my wisdom to you, and the mouths of those who dare to criticize you will be silenced. I do not consider myself to be a man, therefore I should not lie, nor am I a son of man, so I should not repent. I told you that you would reside in the hidden location with me, and that you would be safe and protected whenever you were there. In spite of the fact that every man abandons you and ignores you, I shall fail to ignore you. I shall not ignore you in any way. I am a God who is on time, and I will deliver you, and that precisely before the deadline. Have no fear. Defy the urge to panic. Put your trust in the power that I provide. At the same time, you are not a weakling and you are not weak. Exasperation and fear are not going to be your lot in life. Regardless of the magnitude of the difficulty, you are more than sufficient because I am more than sufficient. You have all you need because of the strength that I have in you. In the same way that your day is, so will your strength be. Take comfort in this. Take this as the most fundamental truth you know. I am with you. My focus is on the task at hand. Bringing about the fulfillment of the greatest dream and the highest heart's desire is something that I am working through you to accomplish. According to what the Father has revealed to me today, the disdain for man will not be able to stop what I am planning to do on the planet. The boundary between the two groups has been established. I have issued the edict that may be summarized as, "That will be enough of that." There is going to be an end to waiting and watching when this happens. The period of time during which one might dwell on the turmoil has come to an end, and the word of life is now being distributed. Right now is the time to welcome mercy and to welcome life with open arms. Embrace mercy, says the Father, since I am traveling over the planet by my Spirit in order to rectify, correct, and put the nations of the earth in their proper place. In centuries ago, when my Spirit was no longer able to exert itself, I poured a flood onto the landscape of the planet. I remember my oath that I would no longer destroy the earth by a flood, but that I would move in kindness toward man, to pour out my Spirit in an irrefutable act of favor that would not be denied. This is something that I remember now and at this time. Today, I am pouring forth my Spirit upon my servants and upon my handmaids. I am being very generous. Those who believe that they are the only legitimate representatives of my kingdom will be embarrassed when I bring forth from the depths of obscurity both young and old individuals who will speak my truth in a manner that is uncompromising and unadulterated. And I am rising up stones that do not have the mark of man upon them, but rather the mark of my hand and my Spirit. The stones that have been erected and hewn out by man are being cast down, and I am casting down the stones that have been erected. Make sure you are aware of the fact that I am pouring out my Spirit upon the altar of your life. I am making myself known in the fresh oil of my outpouring, which is being done upon the altar of a heart that has been laid bare. It is a day when my truth is being made known, and it is a day that the hearts of man, even those who are in deep darkness, may rush into the tower of my name and be secure from the overflowing scourge of the enemy's hand on the land. Come before me in something that is yielding and malleable, for today is the day that my truth is being made known. As of today, God has made it clear that He will not permit you to remain marginalized in the world. It is possible that other people will ignore you and move on, but I will not ignore you. There may be some individuals who have disregarded the quiet, hushed voice that has been urging them to come in your direction, but you should be aware that I will never abandon you or leave you behind. You are my choice. As I stand at the door and knock, the Father says, I choose you, and even as I do so, I suddenly find myself entering the house. As I enter, I will be sup with you, and you will be sup with me. I will give you the opportunity to consume the manna that has been concealed, including the provision of the bread of heaven that was stored by Moses in the Ark of the Covenant. The freshly made bread that I have promised you is the one that is placed in front of you on my table. A location has been set aside for you right here by me, and I have given the ravens the order to provide you with food right there. I will fill you, and I will fill your life with everything that is good, even though everything around you may come up empty and hungry. I will fill your mouth, says the Father, so open it wide and let me fill it. You can anticipate that the things that are going to take place in your life will be characterized by the benefits that the cross has brought. Even right now, on this very day, you are currently stepping into a more favorable position. There is a break in the hand of the adversary. The strategy that he devised against you will be unsuccessful, and you will emerge from the crucible of hardship without even the odor of smoke on your clothing. Today, the Father tells you that the distractions that are all around you will eventually be of little use. During this time of extreme difficulty, the adversary has made every effort to divert your attention and dissuade you from continuing to fight. His biggest weapon is the ability to intimidate others and communicate threats verbally. You should be aware of this. As you align yourself with my purpose in your life, you will not experience any negative consequences. Despite the fact that I was there for Paul during the night and assured him that he would be secure, I will not permit the lies that the adversary tells about you and the threats that the enemy makes against you. Be conscious of the fact that you are not competing against anybody. Individuals are not the adversary. When everything is taken into account, people are neither the solution nor the issue. Take a look at me. I anticipate that my hand will be working. I will show you favor with those individuals with whom you really need to have favor. In order to make the item that was intended to be to your detriment into something that is to your benefit, I will change the axis of your position. In the process of guiding you out of this dry and challenging period, I will provide you with water from rocks and manna from the ground. Consider this time of year to be your time to relax. Trusting and taking a break. Being aware that man does not have power over your destiny. Peace be still is the command that I give to the waves that are crashing all around you. I am the authority that controls them. The stormy condition will suddenly disappear, and you will not even be able to locate all of those troublemakers who were pressing upon you so insistently. This will happen even while you continue to calm the storm that is occurring within your own heart. It is what I do, says the Father, and it is who I am. As you lean with all of your understanding upon me, I promise you that I am. It is the Father who invites you to join in my jubilee today. This is a jubilee of jubilees, the time of going out in liberty and the return of all which has been forfeited. This is a tremendously happy occasion. Says the Father, gather your forces. You should bring all of the disappointments and losses that have occurred in the past into your life. From the ashes of your sad disillusionment, revive the joy that you once experienced. Be aware that I am the God who brings about restoration and recovery. In the crypt of mournful memories, you will not always be able to enshrine the losses that occurred in the years that have passed. There is nothing that you have lost that I am not able and willing to restore tenfold even on this day that you are walking in by my ordination. I am that I am, and there is nothing that you have lost that exists. Make your way to me. You should bring all of your aspirations, desires, and dreams to me. Even with the dreams that seem like Lazarus after he was dead and rotting, come to me as you go through them. I will let you go free of the grave robes that death has wrapped you in, and I will loose you. You will find yourself once more in a state of happiness. My kingdom is filled with happiness. When I rule, there is tranquility. My kingdom is not only a source of joy or tranquility, rather, it is the very embodiment of these qualities. Do not flee from happiness. Because you do not want to experience disappointment once more, you should avoid burying yourself in the dregs of melancholy. I am available at this moment. You have made a sincere effort to communicate with me, and as a result, I am physically close to you. Today is the beginning of a new life. As of today, restoration will commence. At this moment, you are being blessed. In today's message, the Father explains that when you walk in my path, there is no difficulty with iniquity. Your existence in me is not meant to be a never-ending loop of committing sins and receiving forgiveness for those sins. Surely you are aware of the fact that sin can be found in the lives of believers as well. But it is possible to live above sin. The experience of failure and moral miscarriage in your life does not have to be an infinite and unending one. This is not something that is required. You can rely on me. I am the truth for you. The light that guides your way is me, and I am your life. There is grace inside me, and it is made available to you in order to free you from every shackle, as well as addiction and shame. This day, you should anticipate experiencing a certain amount of grace to live a different way. You will not be held captive by the chain of sin. It is impossible for you to be stopped by the iron gates of iniquity that have imprisoned you in a state of shame and terror. Make amends. Have your cleanse done. Continue on. There is no longer any need to slash oneself as the Gadarene among the tombs of mistakes made in the past. Continue on. There is the greater one within you. The very core of your being is where I make my home and where I make my home. I am a resident of your heart. Things can turn out differently. Different is possible for you. It is possible for you to walk with me while dressed in white, free from any and all transgressions. On this day, the Father declares that you are not spoiled or broken things. It is true that there are aspects of your history that you do not feel proud of. They do not feature in my evaluation of you, nor do they have any impact on the plans that I have for your life. You expressed contrition. You made a repentance request. You have nobody to blame. Before the time, everything was planned out in advance. Prior to the beginning of the universe, I made the decision that you were holy and blameless in front of me in love. I used the blood of Christ on your behalf before you were born into a fallen situation, before you had the opportunity to sin. I did this before you were born. Take a look at yourself through the lens of redemption. It is important that you comprehend that I view you through the lens of the cross. You do not fall out of the running. There is no exclusion for you. Beloved, are you completely aware of the things that the cross has made possible for you? In light of the fact that you are in me, you are cleansed. I am with you despite the fact that humanity has attempted to pollute you and that the events of your existence have tainted your personal past. You will never be abandoned by me. Hold fast to my testimony. You should seek me with all of your heart. You must not allow yourself to live out of your broken past, rather, you must live out of who you are in me. Follow my ways, and you will be blessed with my favor and blessing. The feeling of shame is not yours. You will be brought to honor because you have made the decision to follow me with your heart. Make preparations, the Father instructs us to do today. Prepare yourself for the possibility that your life will begin to appear very different from how it does right now. In a moment of time, I will bring about freedom and breakthrough, despite the fact that the adversary believes he has effectively prevented you from advancing in your career and gaining promotions. There is not a single barrier that is locked against you or a chain of obstructions that is keeping you back that will not dissipate and be broken. Be prepared, for you are going to emerge. Prepare yourself for the doors that were previously closed to you to open at their own volition. According to the Father, you will not be required to break down the doors that have been closed against you. The angels that were assigned to you have already made their way through the weakness in the barrier that was placed in your path. The way is unmistakable. The road is in the open. Get to your feet. Get to your feet. There will be no more sleeping for fear. Despite the fact that you believed there was nothing else that could be done, I have already worked out your deliverance. All that is required of you is to leave. With just a shake of your hands, the chains will fall off. Keep moving forward and know that the obstacles and constraints of the past have been lifted, and that you are moving into a newfound fruitfulness and liberty, says the Father. Stand up and walk forward. Today, the Father declares that my mercy will last for all of eternity. In whatever circumstance that may arise in your life, my mercy is much more extensive than you could imagine it to be. When is God going to deal with that person or that situation, is a question that perhaps you might ask. I want you to know that I am showing the same charity and love to people who are opposed to you as I am to you. This is something that I am doing, says the Father. Be sure to follow my lead. Maintain a compassionate, sympathetic, and merciful attitude toward those who would revel in your suffering and celebrate your fall from grace. Show some mercy. I never arrive late, and I will never abandon you in the place that you are. Because I am aware of your distress, I will take action to protect you. Some people could inquire, which side are you on? The Lord has declared that He is on your side. Whenever you submit yourself to my will and my word, I am taking your part in this process. However, I will continue to bless those who bless you, and I will ultimately discipline those who interfere with your affairs. Consequently, you should not place your mouth on your adversary. Avoid putting matters into your own hands and stay away from doing so. In the midst of the challenge, pay attention to my voice and humble yourself. Oh, my beloved, when you are unsure of whom to put your faith in, put your faith in me, because I will never fail to come through for you and I will never fail to disappoint you. There is a message from the Father that I have heard your voice and the cries that have come from your heart. It is not true that my ear is deaf, nor have I ever turned my back on you when you were in need of assistance. I do not exist in a distant God. I am not a father who is uncaring. My own needs are covered by me. Have faith in me. Make your way to me. Let me guide your life by removing your hand from the steering wheel and allowing me to guide your route. The things that you are unable to correct and the circumstances that you are unable to alter are in my control. Know that I am currently working. I want you to know that my promise is genuine and will be made visible when you put your trust and reliance in me rather than any other resource that is not genuine. According to the Father, you will not be subjected to adversity and suffering. My promise is deliverance, and deliverance will be the conclusion of the matter in the scenario that you are currently in. In the same way that you have prayed to me, I will respond. I am not sitting on the throne and silently approving of the fact that you are going through a difficult moment at any point in time. I have been described in such manner by the congregation of those who are not knowledgeable, but unfortunately, they have me completely wrong. I will protect you in times when you are at your lowest point. According to the Father, I will bring you to rest on the floor that is used for the threshing of my purposes. Today, the Father declares that I am the truth that you seek. Your truth is not a collection of teachings or a dogma accepted by the church. There is no way that you are going to receive a lesson from Sunday school when you stand before me. There will be no theological litmus test to evaluate whether or not you are eligible to enter the gates of glory when you stand before my throne and give an account of yourself. In that cosmic moment, there is one question that needs to be answered above all others. Do you have the ability to learn how to love? Is it true that you have shown others the same mercy and compassion that I have shown to you? Was it possible for you to release other people from the burden of your expectations, including those who have wronged and slandered you? According to the Father, love is who I am, and I am looking for the reflection of myself in your life and in your character at all times. I am looking for it both directly and indirectly. The eyes that you have are those of your Father, and I want to look at you and see that. According to the Father, love is unfailing. If you loved someone, why would you ever abandon them? By deciding not to love, you are putting yourself in a position that is outside my providence via an act of your own will. In the most fundamental sense, love is the manifestation of my wisdom. Love is the one that lays the groundwork and establishes the route. Love can be described as a voice that whispers behind your back, telling you, "This is the way, walk ye in it." This is what I want to tell you, little children, walk in love and live in love. Love should be inhaled and exhaled in every interaction you have with other people. Make love your first, sole, and all-encompassing response to every circumstance you find yourself in. Through actions such as these, you demonstrate that you are children of your Father, who is located in heaven. As of now, the Father says today, my constancy is with you for the entirety of the day. I will be by your side from the moment your eyes open in the morning to the moment you close them and go to sleep at night. Within the context of your situation, I am expanding myself and removing any and all influences that are in opposition to my goodness. You will only be able to recognize the hand of the adversary when it has retreated from your life and is in decline. I am exalted in your life in every area that is of significance to you, just as I ride high above the nations of the globe. You are not overlooked in any way. You will not be disregarded. Numbers are assigned to each and every hair on your head. There is not a single step that you take with your feet that is not under my watchful eye. I am familiar with the path that you choose, and when you emerge from the other side, you will be as pure as gold, having been melted in the furnace of my faithfulness during the process. Simply continue to have faith. Do not stop moving forward. In no way should you give the adversary even a single thread of access to your thinking life or the choices you make. As I bring you out of obscurity and need, I am establishing you on a rock of testimony and rejoicing. I am lifting you up. According to what the Father has revealed to us today, I have placed you in heavenly places through Christ. To live under the crushing burden of misfortune that originates from the hearts of those who do not see you as I view you is not something that is intended for you during your lifetime. Do not be disheartened when those who oppose you multiply in number for the sake of my name. There is not a single adversary who will stand up against you that I will not turn into your footstool. All of them. When you are sitting at my right hand, you are in a position to face the problems that come from dealing with unpleasant individuals. Your existence is carried out under my direction and supervision. Maintain your faith. Remember to keep a nice spirit. Take a stand against becoming resentful or contentious. I will set the rod of my strength and power in the midst of the situations that are surrounding you. Instead of relying on your own human weaknesses, you will have the sensation that you are drawing from my supernatural resources. In order to divert your attention away from the calling and the election that I have called you to, the adversary has devised all of these strategies. I determine the course of your days. Regarding your assignment, I have not altered my position in any way. Continue to be committed to the task that I have commanded you to complete, and you will see the attack that hell has launched against you be rendered ineffective. The Father has revealed to you today that my mercy in your life does not have a time limit attached to it. Everlasting mercy is all I have to offer. Despite the fact that you are the one who causes the pain, I am merciful and gracious to you, even though you have contributed to your own wretched fate via the deeds that you have taken. In its entirety, this is the truth of redemption. The moment I observed you in your state of sorrow, I made up my mind that I would be your kinsman redeemer. I made this decision before the beginning of the earth. I am present, my lover. I do not exist in a distant God. There is no need to worry or be disheartened because I will come through for you at the time that has been scheduled. It is time for people to get together. I am drawing you into a more intimate experience beside me and bringing you closer to me as I gather you to myself. It is the enemy's plan to get you to concentrate on the issues of life rather than living a life of attentive response to who I am and what I am doing to deliver you. The obstacles and turbulence that you are experiencing in your life are designed to accomplish this. Recognize that I am aware of your prayers. Recognize that the adversary is merely attempting to divert your attention away from the pursuit of the kingdom. Put your faith in my mighty arm to save and deliver you, and make a decision to believe in it first and foremost. Your prayer will be heeded, I pray. The manifestation of my intervention in your life is made possible through prayer, which serves as the conduit and the delivery mechanism. Now is the time for that moment. Utilize my hearing ear to its fullest extent, and you will be able to notice my salvation. As of now, the Father says prepare yourself for the upcoming shift. Get ready for change, says the Father, for the course of your life is going to take a different path. Prepare yourself for the possibility of change. For a considerable amount of time, you have labored and plotted your way toward what you have perceived to be my desire for your life. You did not misunderstand what I said. There is no mistake in the dream that you have been working toward. The adversary made an attempt to convince you that the vision that you have in your heart was something that you had created on your own. My adversary made the suggestion that your vision was conceived in your own mind rather than in accordance with my plan for you. I am telling a falsehood. The very first time you were able to hear me, it was not a falsehood of the vision. Whatever things appear to be in the natural world, you did not make any assumptions about them. In the near future, you will be making a move that will rethink the parameters of the current relationship. I am causing the circumstances that are surrounding you to be turned upside down in order to make you more open to all of the opportunities that your deepest heart desires. This will need you to rework a significant number of the promises that you have made, and for a period of time, it may feel as though you are going backwards through familiar ground. Do not allow yourself to become sidetracked. Do not get the impression that time is running out. In situations where it appears like there is nothing but a blank wall in front of you, you must not flinch. You are going to proceed when I have opened the door for you. There will be a rapid acceleration of time, and you will experience a number of suddenlies that will come into your life in a matter of days and weeks, although you had anticipated that it would take years and decades. As the Father puts it, a new day has begun. Today is the day that you have crossed over into the place where you are blessed. That you are my chosen and my elect is what the Father has said to you today. My anger is not directed toward you in any way. By no means have I assigned you to a position of denial, deprivation, or decline. You will be able to see my hand if you seek my face. When you seek my face, you will be able to witness marvels in your land and in your circumstances that are above anything you could have imagined. To what extent are you able to dream? Asks the Father. Create a more ambitious dream. When it comes to your dream, I challenge you to make heaven bankrupt. In my role as God, I am a God who provides. I am providence, and I am the supply that you require. In your life, my actions will be brought to your attention. Others will look at you, not as a cautionary tale of destruction and heartache, but rather as an example of my goodness poured out in the land of the living. This is how they will view you. Earning money or being good enough are not the issues at hand. All that I want of you is to arrive as a vessel that is willing to submit. You have yielded. If you are willing, come. Have the willingness to be willing. If you allow yourself to be open to everything that I am in your life today, you will be showered with blessings in spades, and they will come to you very swiftly. I have been told by the Father that I am very sufficient in your life. Beloved, I am that I am in your life. I am. To put it simply, I am who I am, and that is more than sufficient for the challenges that you are encountering on a daily basis. As far as you are concerned, there is no mountain of difficulty that is more formidable than my throne of mercy. There is no charge that my spirit will not bless you even if you are going through the storm. My hand of favor will triumph over everyone, and I will deposit you in your safe haven in a place of victory, even though every man's hand is against you. I am your safety assurance. It is I who provides for you. All of the deficiencies that you are experiencing in your life are being filled by my hand of supply. In this time of year, the Father advises you to make preparations in advance. Create a strategy for the emergence of opportunities. Even though they are not closing, the doors are opening. You should repeat that to yourself in a low voice throughout the day. However, the doors are not closing, rather, they are opening. It is not a negative trend toward deficit and lack, rather, things are trending upward toward benefit and blessing. Over the course of each day, things are becoming better and better. Your deliverance from the dominion of darkness has been accomplished, and you have been transferred into the kingdom of light. Those things that had a tendency to deteriorate are now leading to advancement, vitality, and blessing. It is your share of the food. As a matter of fact, it is the very essence of who I am on the inside of you.